everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the Ruger Ranch Mini 14. These guns have been known for having some pretty interesting accuracy issues over the time that they've been out on the market for probably well over 50 years now, I'm going to say. The one that's sitting here in front of me is one of these stainless Ruger Ranch. It's marked Ranch Rifle, and it is a Sturm Ruger, so it is one of the older ones. It's not one of the new production ones. So if one's going to have poor accuracy, it should be this one. Just a quick kind of overview of what a Mini 14 is. It's a piston-operated system that works very similarly to an M1 Garand or a M14, which is the bigger version of this Chamberlain 308. This one does come with a folding stock, which is cool. So this is kind of almost A-Team vibes, just not the wood furniture. And the value on these guns is way higher than most people would think. But this one, the sights on it are pretty rudimentary, if you will. They remind me of what we commonly call grease gun sights, where it's just a hole in the rear and a pretty fat blade on the front. So you do have a peephole in the rear, but our front blade side is pretty thick. So we're going to do a little accuracy testing on paper at 25 yards. Then I'm going to back up to 50, print a group on one of my steel plates, and then back up to 100 and print another group there. But today's mainly just an accuracy video over these, just to see what it's capable of. Alright guys, so we're at the 25-yard line, very close for a rifle, just to kind of get a baseline to see if we have a really wide group up close or not. One thing I wanted to mention was the safety on this rifle. It's very unique. It's not your traditional AR safety or anything like an AK-47 safety. You actually have to put your finger inside the trigger guard and push a lever forward. So for those of y'all that don't know how that type of safety works, it is a slider front to back that you have to put your finger in the trigger guard to do. A lot of people don't care for that feature. Let's see what she's capable of. Okay. So that's the first 5 shots through this thing. Trigger pull isn't awful. I've definitely felt worse out of a rifle. It's kind of a 2-stage, if you will, just kind of probably breaks at 4.5, 5 pounds. Rifle's clear. We're going to step down range and go see what kind of group we printed. All right, so looking at our paper target here at 25 yards, I was aiming at the number 3 center orange target here. I had the same point of aim, just keeping the blade right in the center of that orange, and we're favoring a little bit low and to the left. The rear sight on that rifle is adjustable. I'm not going to mess with that for right now. Let's just remember that we have about, let's say about a 2-inch group. With that type of iron sights, I'm not too upset with that, to be honest with you, because those 3 right there are almost touching. We'll see if that pattern persists at 50 and 100, but the other groups we're going to shoot are going to be on my steel plates. All right, guys, so we're at the 50-yard line. I'm going to shoot a 5-shot group on one of these steel plates. Then we're going to back up to 100 and shoot another 5 shots on a different plate, and then we're going to step down and take a look at those results. Okay, so I can see my shots from here. Looks like maybe a little bit low, but I think I'm a little bit more centered up this time than that, favoring the left edge like I was with the 25-yard group. We're going to back up to 100 and then see the results. All right, guys, we're back at the 100-yard line, and I just looked through my sights. That front blade is the same width as my 2-foot wide steel target at 100 yards. So what I'm going to do to try and get the best accuracy and hopefully get some hits on the plate is I'm going to put my blade sight perfectly in the center of that ghost ring in the rear and just put it right under the head. So hopefully, if I'm thinking correctly with iron sights, ghost ring at 100 yards, I should have a pretty good group right about here doing that. So let's see if we can get that done. I'm pretty sure I heard 5 impacts, but we'll go down range and see how well we did. Alright guys, so here to wrap up kind of our performance at 50 and 100 yards. This is my 50-yard plate, and these are my 5 shots that I shot at 50. So I can almost cover them up with a fist minus this flyer here. I think if we had a red dot mounted on this thing, we would definitely get some better accuracy, but I wanted to shoot it just like it came out of the box in probably the early to mid 1980s. Honestly, I'm not upset with that, really. I mean, 5 shots at 50 yards with open sights that are very crude open sights, I might add. I'm okay with that result. I think I've heard way worse accuracy claims out of these rifles than that. Let's go see what we did at 100. All right, so this is the 100-yard target. These are my 5 shots at 100. So incredibly low left edge of the plate. Like, I could barely hear my impacts, and now I know why, because it was right here on the edge. This is open sights at 100 yards, and 4 of them are within like 2 inches. This one could have absolutely been me just pulling the trigger one direction over the other. For reference, this front sight blade was sitting right here in the center of that peep sight. So at 25 yards, we saw low and left impacts. At 50, I didn't notice it as bad. Maybe a couple that were a little bit lower to the left than I wanted, but at 100, it's like it came back a little bit. This rifle is more accurate than people give it credit for. I think if we were able to put like a magnified optic on this or a red dot, absolutely get it zeroed to hit the center of the target and probably just stack rounds on top of each other at 50 and 100 yards all day long. Is the chance that I got a good one here? Could be. I know there is some validity to the ones that had some accuracy issues, but maybe the reason people say they're so inaccurate is because they don't know how to shoot iron sights that well. I'm not the best at it, but off of a bog pod, just standing upright, I was able to put 4 consistently on this edge, so I could adjust sights to get it closer. That's about all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for watching. Just a quick accuracy video on a Ruger Mini 14 with iron sights. Please check us out on all our other social media pages, Facebook, Instagram. Of course, subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't. We just hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we're just kind of keep pushing. Want to hit 2,500, then 5,000. Thank you guys so much. God bless every one of you. And remember, live a life worth defending.